advice and guidance she offered to others. Whereas her warmth and genuine kindness, her passion and her enthusiasm ensured Barbara was beloved by all who had the fortune to come into contact with her. Resolve, Dress for Success is a better organization because of Barbara's contribution. And we always will be blessed to have had the opportunity to work alongside her and consider her a true friend. So now, therefore, we, Dress for Success Worldwide, board of directors, staff, and all the women around the world, do hereby proclaim February 8th, 2019 is Barbara Dell Day. I will always remember Barbara. We will celebrate her at our annual conference in Vancouver, and we will celebrate Barbara's life there. And to the best of my ability, I'm going to get you there so that you can see, not so that you can be around so many women, so that you can just see how beloved your wife really was, and know that we and me will always be there for you now, always. Thank you.
Mel's worried about being around beautiful women.
I know.
Barbara, all of Barbara's friends and family. So thank you, Joy, for all your thoughts and the proclamation from Dress for Success Worldwide. We also want to now have join us a local entrepreneur who has Barbara Dell to thank for really owning her own business. She owns LB Bakery. She was a client of Dress for Success Southwest Florida, and she's here to say a few words. She is one of the success stories, one of many, that a statistic, a number can't count because of the lives she'll impact. Cara Bernier.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to try not to cry. I feel very blessed to share about Barbara's life today. Because she has genuinely impacted my life, that they're not words to say, but actually things that are true about her, that I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for Barbara. When I knew I wanted to own my own business, I went to one of the very first meetings for the Entrepreneurial Spirit program that they launched, and I had never been in that environment before. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to start. I just knew I wanted to own my own business. From that first meeting, I could not stop going to Dress for Success meetings and conferences, and Barbara met with me many times in her personal time, and Mel has met with me personally to do whatever they could to excel my business. And I got my very first client at an event that Dress for Success threw, and those clients have referred me to their friends, to their friends, to their friends, and I still service them. And we've celebrated 5 years in business as of November. So the relationship we built came naturally but very quickly in 2013. And if you know Barbara, that's how most things happen with her, quickly but naturally. She was very easygoing. She always engaged people. She was always committing, always helping, always giving, and she never showed fear. If she saw an opportunity, she took it. But she took that opportunity to benefit those around her, not just herself. If she saw something in you, she would spark a connection right away, and before you know it, you're either sitting on an advisory board or in a class sharing your subject expertise, or you're like me, you had to walk a runway twice for Dress for Success experience. There was a time when I recently ran into Barbara, and I was sharing with her an opportunity that had come for my business to grow and move from Southwest Florida to the Jacksonville area. She was very proud of me and excited for me to have that opportunity. But she looked me dead in the eye and explained that she would do everything in her power to keep me here because she knew that I worked really hard to build my business in this community. And she didn't want me to just take that away, and she reminded me that there was so much success that I've already accomplished here, and that there was much more even waiting if I were to just continue to watch my business grow here. I never reached back out to her to take advantage of the opportunity, But what that conversation did for me, it gave me the confidence to know that building something here was important. And I did have accomplishments in my community, and I worked very hard to get where I was. And Barb reminded me how far I'd come. And for me, all I needed was the confidence from her speaking to me. I needed that confidence from another person, another woman, or another woman in business, and she was all of those things. Sometimes you just need a natural connection to be made, and Barbara always made those natural connections. She connected women with lawyers, marketing experts, and branding experts, and social media experts for free. She did that for women who otherwise wouldn't have those opportunities. And it's sad because I always saw myself going to Barbara for a long time for the future of my business, and selfishly, I won't have that opportunity. But she always had an eye to see a need somewhere, and she always filled the gap. She created something so special in Southwest Florida that the gap will be getting filled long after she's gone, and her legacy will never stop. Thank you.
I think you just said what all of us have been thinking, and the stories that we all have. Kara, thank you for opening up and sharing your memories. We now want to invite Christina Schwinn to say a few words, followed by Kinfei Murad.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to see you. I wish it were under different circumstances. I met Barbara Dell originally at the Fort Myers Women's Network, and there are a few members here that were part of that group, and that group disbanded after about 25 years. And then Barbara, wanting to keep us all together, she decided we're going to have a little black dress club. And we met at the Edison off of McGregor. And that's when Barbara started talking to me about her dream for Dress for Success. Many of you may know I'm a partner with these law firms. She came to me, she said, Christina, will you help me set up Dress for Success? And I said, absolutely. And so there began our adventure. And I helped Dress for Success get set up. I serve today as pro bono counsel for Dress for Success, and I've been there all the way. I will never forget when Barbara came to me and Connie and Gail Markham and was talking about launching the ESP program. And she asked us to all participate and be teachers. And Carrie, I was at your class and I met you. And I'll never forget that. We've had a tremendous impact upon women in this community. It's a place for them to go. And I so much want to see the ESP program continue that I am going to make a $2,500 contribution today to the ESP program, because I believe that it is powerful to see women come in and have professional women who take the time out of their lives to be with them on a Saturday and help them and ask questions. It's remarkable. I walk in and I see them, they're looking down like this, they're twiddling their thumbs, they don't know what to expect, and as the day goes on, they are engaged, they're excited, and they start to believe in themselves. And that is one of the most important things about this organization, is we help women who need to believe in themselves to find that strength within them. Because women need to believe in themselves in order to succeed. There are too many pressures out there and too many people who want to tell us that we can't succeed. Well, I'm here to tell you, Dress for Success is just getting going. It was been going from starting in 2010, and Nicole and her team are going to take it to the next level. So for all of those of you who are here, I hope that you will continue to support Dress for Success. And remember the gifts that Barbara brought us. Thank you for being here.
Barbara Dell in 4 acts. Act 1 is Barbara's perseverance. And this is the way it will go. Ken Fay, how you doing? I'm doing good, Barbara. You know, we're launching a new initiative. I need you to come do a story. Barbara, I did a story last week. Yeah, Ken Fay, but I really need you to come back and do a story. Barbara, you get me in trouble with the editors at the newspaper. Yeah, Ken Fay, but come and do a story. Barbara, all of the other nonprofit organizations are calling my editor wanting to know why I'm doing so many stories about Dress for Success and not their organization. Well, last year you did a lot about Pay Center for Girls. Act 2 is Barbara's energy. Pieces of Barbara's energy are in all of us. And when I need that, I look at the works. Gail Markham, Mark Collins, Sandy Stilwell, Connie, Jessica Walton, Sarah Owen. They have their own energy, but they're the closest thing to Barbara that I have left. I don't do the whole God thing really well, but I do believe that Barbara's energy is with us. And when I have trouble seeing that, I'm going to look to those people and others to see it reflected back to me. Barbara's groove. When she laughed in winter, it seared a groove in me. Part of that groove was because I failed her on so many occasions. Part of that groove was seared in me just because of who she was. And no memory or picture is going to fill that groove in. I have an idea that the only thing that will fill that groove in are acts of service. And if I'm fortunate, when I'm done, I would have filled that groove in. And in my eyes, that would be the only way to honor Barbara. Barbara's voice. I'm going to carry on. You're going to carry on. Life goes on. We don't have a choice in that regard. And she's not here with us. But in the echoes, in that young lady's success story, in the echoes, we will hear her voice. And if we're small, if we put our ego aside, it will lead us to grace. Thank you.
request your one act play next. It is amazing to hear all these different stories, but there's that common thread, and it's Barbara. And I think all anybody can hope in life is that someday they're a thread that has connected people, because at the end of the day, the impact you make on others is what we all live for, to be that person. And everybody's story has been so eloquent, and I can definitely echo Convey on energy, because back in the day, I would call Barbara Dell and say, so I have a 5:15 guest spot open on Fox 4 Rising. I'm there. Like, what can we talk about? Let's outline it. And when we did a segment on Workers Wednesday, when the economy turned, Barbara wanted every single spot. And I had to tell her, gotta give some love to some other people. Well, just in case they drop out, I will come at 5:15 in the morning. So yes, Barbara had energy, she had perseverance, she had stamina, she just had gumption and grit. And you've got to admire that. So thank you to everybody for their stories. And now we want to welcome the Fort Myers Chamber of Commerce Women in Business APEC recipient Sandy Stillwell, who is the winner of the first APEX Award in 2006 for a very special message.
Thank you. This has been so heartwarming to be here, and Mel, you have to feel the love in the room that we all felt toward Barbara. First time I met Barbara, I met you, Mel, when we were out on Sanibel. I was a speaker at American Business Women's Association, better known as ABWA, and they asked me to come in and speak about weathering the storm in business and how I made it through Hurricane Charlie and all that, and I shared and so on. And Barbara, she just made a beeline toward me, and she wouldn't let go. You can identify. I'm sure that's happened to you. And how can you have this big event, this Love That Dress event, and make all this money, and how do you get all those people, and how do you, so lots of questions, and how can you come, how can you become involved in my organization? And I just, pretty much told her, yeah, I'm pretty much tapped out on that, but I can help tell you who to go to and things, and so she had already, and I didn't know that much about her, but then as I asked her the questions, she had already done so much. She always was wanting to try to draw more people in, but she already had it. She already really did. And so years pass on, we'd see one another a lot of times, and I did start saving all my professional wear for the Dress for Success, and then all my other things, the girly girl stuff, more toward the Love That Dress. So I was able to do that, and one day I was moving, changing houses. I had 50 suits that I needed to donate, and so I called Barbara, and I didn't know where she was, and she said, let me come and get them. And I said, oh, no, I'll drop them off. And then we had this, no, you're too busy. No, you're too busy. And I said, no, I really want to come because I want to see your office. I've never seen it. And when I walked in, just welcomed me like, it was just the most amazing. And that's the way she was. All the board members that I happened to walk in, they were having a board meeting, and it was really wonderful, and what a great impact she's made to our community. So much so, fast forward to Apex Awards. She was down, that year there were quite a few nominees. And Samantha Scott, you're here, I know I saw you, I don't know, there you are. But I think, didn't you all win it together? Wasn't it that year? Yeah. I thought so, yes. And so, because I remember afterwards when the announcement was made that the two of you were the winners, she kept on coming up to me and saying, I cannot believe that I've received this award. I just can't believe it. It's the highest honor of my life. Mel, didn't you agree, out of all the things that she ever got, that she really did think that was like the top honor of her life? And and any of you that are Apex Award winners, will you raise your hands? I know there's a lot of you out there, and I know that Gail was here earlier. It is a wonderful thing. And so what we thought as a group of Apex Awards, we wanted to do a scholarship in her name. So far, what do we have, $1,750, or has it risen since then?
Yeah, it's over $1,500, I'm not sure the exact total.
Yes, and so if anybody else wants to, it's going to go through the Women in Business at the Fort Myers Chamber of Commerce. It's going to be a scholarship for a lady. They always have very strict guidelines on making sure that the proper person gets it. So I'm very excited about that, and thank you so much for being here to honor Barbara.
Barbara's still achieving her apex and all the work that she has done. You know, Barbara rarely went anywhere without Mel. And I think all of us that have loving husbands and wives envied their relationship because it was one of true love. True love, and it's visible, and I think it's still visible right now. She called him her personal comedian. We all need that person that makes us laugh. And Mel was always by her side. So he's gonna join us to say a few words, and we're gonna give him strength and courage as all her friends. And her friend Patty Estudo, who's been her friend since age 17 in Rochester, New York, is gonna come up here. So, the great honor of presenting Mel Dell and Barbara's true best friend.
And my daughter Lisa lives in New Jersey, came down for this occasion. I'm so happy to see her.